Hey, Thekla.
How's it going? Sorry about that.
No, you're good. It was just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, I really need to learn to read every word.
No, no, you're fine. Um, well, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Looks like you got some sun.
Yeah, every day. I work outside, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, so, okay, so you're, first off, how do you pronounce your last name?
Hutyrova. Thekla Hutyrova.
Okay, sweet. Um, and you're a two-time world champion martial artist, correct?
Yes, sport karate, which is like forms with flips and with or without weapons and with or without music.
Okay, that's cool. So, when did you? I guess when did you win those championships? Was that like teenage years or adult or?
That was 2010-ish, so young adult.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, because we're the same age. So, had you graduated yet, or was that right around?
I think it was around the same time. I was competing a lot while I was in high school.
Okay, that's cool. So at that point, were you just like practicing or training karate, or had you done other martial arts besides that?
At that point, I was doing taekwondo. I had gotten my second degree black belt in junior taekwondo. And I was doing a little bit of sport karate for sure, but then also like a little bit of jujitsu-ish, because there was a couple people training at my school, and then my instructor didn't like solely do taekwondo. We did like takedowns and self-defense stuff, so it was a little tiny mix of stuff, but mostly taekwondo.
Okay, sweet. I guess out of what you've learned so far, what would you say is like your favorite, I guess, like martial arts?
That's tough because they're all so cool. I really love I love them for different reasons. Like I've been doing taekwondo for forever, so obviously like striking and kicking is really awesome. Been doing some like kickboxing and Muay Thai lately, which has been great. Yeah. Boxing I like because of how it's like sneakily complex, right? You're like, oh, there's only like 6 moves or something, but there's so many angles and so much like strategy to it in a way almost, like and the timing and everything. So it's fun to play around with that within a smaller framework of movement. Mm-hmm. And then obviously like judo and jiu-jitsu are, I haven't done them as long, but I've really been enjoying those as well. Just finding like the puzzle of the human body. So that's fun. And then to connect those two, Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun, to have that like in between awareness of the space and just like awareness of where limbs are is been really cool. So I've been doing those last few for about 5 or 6 years now since I moved to LA. Okay. But yeah, all of them. And then obviously like tricking and tumbling is like kind of the reason I started out here, and something that helped me a lot in the beginning as well with stunts and stuff. So that one's amazing as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick a favorite. It's like children.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. So yeah, I did. I've had like super limited martial arts experience, but like I think when I was like first through like second or third grade, I did like karate. But then I, as an adult, I trained like a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and I really liked kickboxing, so I did that for like I think 8 months or something. So
nice.
Yeah, it was fun, but I don't know. The main thing that like benefited me from that was strengthening my shins, because my shins were so weak, or like so sensitive at the beginning, you know, even though I
Sure.
played football and everything. Um, I had baby shins, so like the first like week, I like went up to my coach and I was like, "Hey, is this normal?" And he like looked at my shins because they're like real pale, you know, and
Oh my
and
gosh.
they were like purple, and he's like, "Yeah, just you'll be okay." He's like,
That's horrifying.
just
Oh my
walk,
God.
just walk it off, you know. But they
Like, no,
start,
that's the thing, coach. I can't walk.
yeah, I really
That's what
was
I'm
like,
asking you about.
I was like, I think I need to call into
Amazing.
work. I was like,
Oh
but
my gosh.
yeah, no, it was cool because they started like, I don't know the term for it, but it was similar to like cauliflower ear. Like you get that like calcification over your shin or whatever. So that
Yeah, sure. I don't like strike stuff too. Like I'm not into like kicking palm trees down or anything. Like so I don't
yeah.
try to toughen any part of my body that much. Not that badass, I guess. But I also don't think it's like super healthy to do it that much.
Yeah.
So I do wear like gear and stuff, and same for stunts. We try to wear protective gear whenever we can, just for longevity. But yeah, I guess you get a little like callous, or like your nerves get a little desensitized to it, so they're not as weenie.
Yeah. No. So, I guess after you, like, was there a point when you stopped competing and like transitioned into more like stunt and like tricking and stuff, or how'd that go?
Tricking I've been doing for a long time, pretty much almost as long as I was doing taekwondo, because we had a like demo team at my school, so we did like little not tournaments, but we did little demonstrations and stuff at schools and events and things in the community. And so with that came like acrobatics classes as well at my martial arts school. So I've been doing that for a long time, and kind of going to later on going to like tricking events and different camps and stuff, and training and teaching at those. So that's kind of been this whole time. As for, I mean, I stopped competing like 20, I don't know. But there was definitely like a period of time where I wasn't competing, and right before I moved to LA, where I was contemplating and trying to join Cirque du Soleil in Vegas, and that kind of, I got into their database and everything, and then once I moved to LA, of course, they're like, hey, there's an opening in Ka, like, come down and audition. So I did, because why not? And then it was like down to me and a couple other people, and kind of made it into that, but decided to stay in LA just to, because it seemed like the better option, and I think that was the right answer, because then everything started kind of happening after that. But obviously I haven't been competing in a while, so I'm retired from that, which is such a funny thing to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got into stunts and just moving out here because a lot of people that competed on the NASCAR circuit, which is what I was competing on mostly, transitioned into stunts in movies and everything. So I kind of had like a path to follow a little bit with those people. So it's been great.
Yeah, that's cool. So after competing, you moved out to California, and then was that strictly like for the purpose of trying to do stunts in movies and video games, or
stunts and acting. I had done a little acting in Arizona as well. I was in a TV show pilot and some other like short films and student films and things, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the industry as well. And then Mike Chat, who owned XMA, which is like another sport karate brand. Basically, he kind of helped invent the sport itself. Has a school out here. He's transitioned to just doing film now, but I ended up being able to teach for him as well. So that was a good like part-time job to have, basically, while I was pursuing everything. So it just all kind of like fell into place nicely. I was very fortunate to have as many people that I knew out here as I did.
Yeah. Okay. That's sweet. So, how's that work? Like me, I mean, like I have no idea, but neither do my my listeners. Do you? I know for acting you audition for like stunts and stuff. Do you audition for that, or how's that?
Sometimes some projects require you to audition. Commercials, almost like 70% of the time you audition for them. Everything else, stunt wise, you don't audition. The stunt coordinators and choreographers kind of keep a roster, basically, or like in the back of their heads at least, of people of certain sizes and heights and everything. And sometimes they don't know who to call. They ask whoever's on set or their friends or something. So, and then they basically call you, see if you're available, and then submit you and like a couple other people to production, which is, director, producer, hair, makeup sometimes have a say in it, just because if you're doubling, you want to be able to match better. So if hair doesn't have a wig, then they'll like kind of pick someone because of that. So it's more of a direct booking sort of situation for stunts itself, like strict stunts. But anything else, you kind of audition. We don't really have agents. We have like databases that you can like put your stuff online in like a thing, so that a coordinator can just kind of like look up like, oh, I need a 5'1" girl who can do this, and like they can have a list pop up, so then they can go off of that. But you have a demo reel, and then you have your connections, which is kind of what really makes it.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your, I know you did a few things in Arizona, but I guess what was your like breakout thing in Hollywood, would you say?
I did previs for Logan, the movie, which was the biggest thing I did. I went to New Orleans to like do rehearsals with them as well. I didn't end up doubling the girl because she was very little, but I did a lot of the pre-production, and like previs is basically where you film the fight scenes and like action that you're pitching to the director as the stunt crews to kind of have it done before actual shooting starts. So it's just like to be more efficient and effective, and then you can kind of work out problems with that. So I did a lot of the like developmental phase of the fight scenes for X-23 for that one, and that was one of my first jobs out here, which was amazing, and because of Mike Chat mostly, because they did the previs at the school I was teaching at, so that was cool. And then motion capture, my first video game was God of War, which was awesome. They found me on YouTube. I had filmed a bow staff compilation for a different submission for Cirque du Soleil and put it on YouTube. And I thought it was on unpublished or something, but I guess it hadn't been. So they found it and then like reached out to me.
That's cool.
Because they needed someone to do bow staff for the Valkyries, and then I ended up doing a lot of the movement for the sun for Atreus and that. And I'm still working with them in that team and stuff, and in other things. So it's cool. It's been great. It's been really fun. There's so many amazing people to work with, and that's probably one of the best things about it, just the people and how cool they are.
Dude, that's awesome. I was looking at the list of things that you've been in, and it's like crazy. It's like all my favorite video games. So
yes, that's awesome.
I was like,
I know. Same.
Yeah.
They're really, it's been a really cool list. Like, they're all like pretty amazing projects.
Yeah. So, if I get too much into something, let me know, because like I don't know how much you can talk about.
Oh, it's fine. If I can't answer, I just won't.
Okay, sounds good. As far as like I saw that you did some work on Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
like, can you say what work you did with that, or?
So with motion capture, it's a little odd because you end up doing a bunch of different characters often. Like, it's not like you're just the one character just because you can be other things. So a lot of times, even if you are a specific character, usually, like, other people might end up doing it on a day if they're there and there's pickups or something. And then you also end up being a lot of, like, civilians and extras basically running around because then they can just layer stuff on in animation.
Oh, okay.
But I did some of the stuff for... I say some of because I'm not sure if I did all of it ever. Mm-hmm. Again, because it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And then also by the time the game ends up being out, it's been years basically since you've done it usually, because games take like 4-ish years on average, I would say, to go from like, production to being out, just because there's so much VFX and like CGI stuff, obviously, because they're all animated, that goes into it. So it's kind of hard to remember what you did after a while. But I did a lot of the little kid stuff.
Oh.
So like the fight scenes, and then the kid when they die, and then the POV stuff of the kid attacking with the little hands and stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of that, and then anytime a kid is crying or over a dead parent or something, that would probably be me. It was so weird filming that because we, obviously, like, it's a serious topic and stuff, but
yeah,
you get to have a level of separation from it because you're in Velcro suits and everything. So it was kind of like we had a lot of fun shooting it, even though it's really serious and like sad. So it's almost like you try to make up for the like fucked upness of it by like, having fun. And the director of that game was really cool and everything. So it's like, it was a really good experience and a good project. But like watching those scenes now, like I'll watch a playthrough, I'll be like, oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah. And you're like, at this moment we were like making this dark joke about this. And then they're like, hey, okay, so get in character, your mom just died. So like, you gotta.
Yeah. I mean, and with motion capture too, it's cool because like crying and laughing, your body does very similar things where it's like jumping up and down and like whatever. So like you don't have to feel it necessarily to like show it, but also if you do feel it, it obviously translates better. But like there's definitely a little tiny cheat that you can have with that, which is helpful if you're not like, super into it. But like some of the stuff does get pretty intense.
Yeah. So I guess, do you like prefer one over the other, like motion capture versus like doing tricks and stunts? Or I mean, I know they're completely.
Yeah, it's a different type of. I don't know if I prefer one or the other, but they're definitely different. Like motion capture, you're kind of part of a couple of people that are working that day, so you're kind of working the whole day for the most part. Stunts and other like live action stuff, you end up having a lot more downtime usually, unless you're doing like rehearsals and stuff where you're going all day. But excuse me, with stunts and like bigger sets and everything, you just like there's more moving parts, so you end up hanging out longer and just like kind of having some downtime until your part comes along. So it's like it's a little more boring in a way, but also you don't end up getting as tired all day from just like moving and working all day. But yeah, they both have their pluses and minuses, like I like them both.
Okay. Okay, so it might be a dumb question, but I did see, like, speaking of downtime, I saw like a picture where you had like the dots on your face and you're in the full suit and everything, and you're just like, it looked like you're like chilling at like a break room table or something. Is that paint or are those stickers or like what is that all over your face?
That'd be awesome. It's like makeup paint. They're used for like facial tracking, so they put them at like specific points where like your face scrunches more or whatever, so that they can animate your face based off of your facial movement, so it's called performance capture, whereas motion capture is just for body. And I think what you're talking about, sometimes like,
yeah, they look like little black dots, I think.
Yeah, so they're just paint. I think like makeup artists put them on, but they have like very specific places they put them, but it comes off fairly easily. So I think it's just makeup. I'm not sure exactly. It's like paint or something.
Yeah, okay.
But not stickers. That'd be cool though.
Yeah, I was just curious because I could see myself just like being like this at the table and then like, oh shit.
Yeah,
and, like,
that's why the makeup artist is there the whole day.
Yeah, okay.
They always fix them and stuff. But they don't come off that easily. Like as long as you're just not like rubbing your face, like you're kind of okay. But yeah, that's definitely a hazard.
Okay, yeah. I've always been curious. Like I've seen other people do like fuzzy balls all over the suit and stuff. I think that's like on top
on
of
the face.
No, just on the suit. Yeah.
They're not fuzzy. They're reflective. There's like a reflective tape on them. They're made of rubber. But the suit is Velcro and they're Velcro, so you just place them. Okay. But they're reflective, so that when the cameras light up and everything, when you're in the volume, which is the room with all the cameras, they like shine more lights on them, and so the computer catches all the reflective points, and then the way they process it and stuff, it like makes it knows that like set of markers is what they're called. Yeah. Is that person, and like they do a lot of like on the technical side, but they're basically just reflective little points that kind of mark your skeleton. Okay. As you're moving around.
Yeah. So I know you like have done some work in Deadpool 2, and I was wondering what that was, or like what you'd helped with that, because that's also, I love that movie.
That one was a strange, like this stuff happens honestly too often in the industry. Yeah. That one I did previs for it, but the team later got replaced, so the stuff I did, I don't know if it ever made it anywhere. So like I think that either the stunt coordinator or the director or something got switched out during the process of like filming. So by the time we got done with the previs and like they got around to filming, like I don't think we were really part of it. But you still get the credit because you worked on it as a project. Okay. Yeah, that one, people ask me about that one a lot. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But it's just like weird stuff happens on a, different level with like production and stuff, and sometimes stuff like that happens, or projects get canceled completely, or it's crazy how often that happens. Like I never would have thought that it's as prevalent as it is. It's not like all the time, but often enough that you notice it.
Yeah. I was wondering about that because like I listen to some like comedy podcasts, and they're mainly like comedians, but they play roles in like their friends' movies and stuff, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm so excited about this, and then they come to find out they like got completely cut out of the film or something, and they're like,
that too. Yeah. So. Yep. Okay. And it's just like you can film entire scenes, like in Alita Battle Angel, like the bar fight was way longer originally, like when they filmed it and everything. They flew out a ton of stunt performers, they filmed for 2 weeks, and then like it ends up being the length it is, obviously because it tells a better story or whatever, like in the final bits, and it's better to have more that you shot that you then cut out, but it's always interesting to see what makes it and everything. Yeah. So like in Alita, were you the stunt double, or what were you in there? Really? I was one of 10 stunt doubles, I think she had.
Damn.
There were a couple tricking doubles along with me, and then there was a main double, there was a handstand double, for like the handstand bit, and then and then she had a different skating double, just because everyone's got different specialty skills. So, like, there's no reason to have just one person, trying to do everything if there's other people that are better at it. Yeah. So we just try to find whoever's got the right skills and then matches the, proportions and everything. So I did a couple of the things I did. The move where she like jumps and rolls down a pile of rubbish and stuff, and then I did like a tricking pass where she's going through the fingers of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then incidentally, I also ended up being called in for a day when they needed to reference hair movement. So I came in and like moved around, like walked left and right and forward and backward, jumped, spun, and then I got my hair cut to a shorter length, did the same thing over again, and I did that like 3 times throughout the day, so that they could see like how it moves at different lengths and stuff, and so everyone was like, "Oh my god, she looks just like you," and it's like the hair makes that happen a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
oh no, I was just saying that was kind of entertaining because it's like it just happened that I was available that day. It's not like they're like, "Oh, we love your hair, please come in for this." Like,
yeah, no, I was curious about that because I was like, because at least the site I looked on it didn't, it just says like stunts or it says something next to your name, so I was like, was she Alita? Because like you do look like pretty close to. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rosa Salazar was the actress for her, and she did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a team effort. Like, I feel like people don't talk about how many people are usually involved in building a character, and I think that's kind of a shame because it's kind of cool that it's such a collaborative effort,
Yeah, because I had no idea. That's like one of the main reasons I wanted you on the podcast is to like learn more about that area of filmmaking and video games, because like I always grew up, I mean, like as an adult I've like learned a little bit more about it, but like I always just thought like, oh, they got one stunt double and then they got a backup in case they get hurt or something, like they
absolutely.
Yeah, so
there's usually a main double for stuff, or there's like a fight double and a wrecking double, wrecking being like falling and you disappeared. There
sorry.
But it depends. Sometimes there is only one stunt double. Sometimes there's a billion, depending on what you need.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So besides like, I know you've been filming like I came across you from your Instagram, like those videos you've been putting out and stuff, like all your. I should have asked you before, like when you reference tricking, is that specifically like kind of like parkour and doing like cool stuff with swords, or is like what?
No, tricking is martial arts acrobatics. It started from like taekwondo moves and stuff. It's a combination of like off-axis tumbling and like twisting moves and like taekwondo kicks with like multiple rotations before you kick. And some like breakdancing as well. There's it's its own sport and its own like movement style. Parkour does resemble it a little bit, but parkour has different levels, whereas tricking is usually on a flat surface.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, I don't know, like I get, well, we grew up around the same time, so like I know parkour was like a giant thing when we were like in high school and everything, so
yeah, with The Office and everything.
Yeah, they were like parkour. That was like a running joke for years.
Tricking didn't ever get super mainstream, but it's definitely its own sport, and it's really impressive. Like it's made crazy advances over the last like 10 or 15 years or so. You should definitely check it out, and so should your listeners if ever. Just look up martial arts tricking. I think tricking as a word by itself has other connotations for older generations.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's freaking cool.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so sorry, I sidetracked, but back to the videos you've been posting on Instagram and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like, once again, might be a dumb question, but like, do you and like stunt friends or whatever just like get together and do cool shit?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, the ones that are into Instagram and stuff. These videos with the slidey stuff, my friend William Spencer, who is what currently and also before Spider-Man's double, one of Spider-Man's doubles, the Andrew Garfield one, I think. I might be completely wrong. But he's also a skateboarder and stuff, so he's always been into, like, doing these crazy trick videos and things. Like, he's one of those people who, like, will skateboard and, like, jump off of something onto another skateboard and, like, backflip on those skateboards and then, like, add another one or something. Like, crazy stuff. Like, super skilled stuff with, like, the trick shot things. So I think he's trying to, like, branch out into, like, challenging more people into doing, like, different tricks and things. So it's been really fun just hanging out with him and some people just, like, trying things. So he'll just be like, slide on this thing, and then I'm going to throw the sword to you or something. So, we just hang out and come up with stuff to film. And sometimes it doesn't work out great. Yeah. You know, like, sometimes it's lame or just doesn't work, but sometimes it's cool.
Yeah. So, the sword, speaking of the sword, is that, like, a prop sword or is that, like, real?
It's a prop sword.
Okay, because I'm like, I'm like, oh, no.
A regular sword would get so rusty, for one. Like, that's really disrespectful to a good sword.
Yeah.
2, not stupid.
Yeah, okay, that's what, like, it looked dull, but I was like, oh shit.
It's foam.
Like, okay.
It's made of foam.
Okay.
Like, no.
Well, you're, like, sliding so fast, I'm like, don't chop your leg or something, you know, like...
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for the comments of people being like, oh, that was a stupid idea to do a sword, you're going to slice someone in half, like, I don't think it would have gotten nearly as much attention. That and all the wet socks comments, those were funny. Everyone's like, oh, good, wet socks.
Dude, yeah.
Would help with the slide, so.
Yeah, well, like, literally, like, 30 minutes ago, I was, like, I don't know, I just scrolled through TikTok, and, there, like, it was just a video of somebody's, like, aimed down at their feet, but it had, like, a lot of likes and comments and stuff, so I was like, well, I'll wait to see what's going on. And they're walking, and then they just walk into, like, a dog bowl of water with their socks, and I was like, no! Like, I was like...
Wait, so is that a thing these days? Like,
I think it's
like
just...
a new trend of, like, ew, wet socks?
I guess, I don't know, but that particular video, like, I didn't get that vibe when I watched your video, like, it didn't really bother me, but when I watched that video, I was like, no, like, stop.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, newly and wettened, is that a word? It's not a word, but I'm making it a word. Yeah. Newly and wettened socks are bad. Or, like, when you have, like, half of your sock is wet, but, like, when they're all fully soaked, it's not that bad. It's just, like, they make weird sploshy sounds when you're walking, but when you're sliding, it's great, because then you know, like, there's no other way you can't really slide on your feet because that would really suck.
Yeah.
For your flat skin.
yeah. I didn't even think about that because that's like a towing strap, right? That you're sliding across.
Right? It's a slack line. It's like an extra wide slack line.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That would probably
it's so funny. I don't know, but it's like people freak out. It's so funny. Yeah. I love reading the comments and, like, just kind of, like, scrolling through them. I haven't been answering them because there's a lot on that specific video, but yeah, it's fun to just, like, kind of scroll through.
Yeah, I think, what's that video at? It's like at 8 million or something now?
Yeah, it's insane. I almost didn't post it because it's kind of not like it's not like a really cool angle or anything. Like, there wasn't, like, camera work where it's, like, tracking with me or something. So I was like, this is probably not going to do well. Yeah. Little do I know.
Yeah, and it just, like, because you posted that, like, how long ago did you post that? You know, roughly?
A few weeks ago, something like that. Okay. But it's been still going. It's crazy. Like, yeah. Like, I was blown away when it was, like, at 100,000 views.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Yeah, and I've been watching your, like, I think I contacted you, like, roughly a week ago, and your followers were, I think you're at, like, the high 20,000s of followers, and then, like, I checked today, and I was like, oh my god, you're, like, almost to, like, 50 or something, I don't know, 50,000, or 45.
Yeah, it's, like, 43 last time I checked. Okay. It's kind of crazy, because I was at, like, 12,000 for a couple years, and just, like, I don't know, yeah, it's been crazy. I've been trying to, you know, like, post more regularly now that this video has been doing stuff to like try to help it, but yeah, I'm blown away. I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you? I guess so. Is that like what you do in your off time? Is like hang out and do video? I mean, not all the time, but like, is that an often
kinda
thing?
Yeah, often enough. Yeah, or we'll like we'll like train at the park or try to like come up with some cool choreography with like a friend of mine, Christopher Troy, does a lot of like incorporating jiu-jitsu into like film fighting and like really dynamic stuff like that. So he'll come up with some choreo and we'll try it and stuff. Yeah, it's just what we do.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, besides like I guess like technique training and like doing that stuff with your friends and everything, do you have any type of like workout or like anything like besides that you do? Like, is there a specific like, I don't know, cardio or weight training or stretching or anything that you...
It changes. I got really into yoga for a while, which I need to get back into because it's really beneficial for like elasticity and like your mental space as well. I do Pilates sometimes and like work out with a personal trainer sometimes, just to like get better form, like physicality and stuff wise. But it changes. It's like whatever I'm kind of into. I don't do cardio nearly as often as I probably should. I don't like run or anything too much, but every now and then I like go for a run, and then it's like it'll be like I'll try and it's not great, and then I'll go again and it's like kind of good, and I'm like proud of myself, and then I don't want the next one to suck, so I just don't do it again until I forget that it was good.
Yes, stop.
And then I go again, and like, it's just dumb. Yeah. But yeah, mostly like the technique martial arts training and stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, hold on. Can you hear that, or is that? There's an ice cream truck outside.
Cute. No, I can't.
Okay, sweet. Because they're like really loud, and I was like, oh man. Okay. Anyways.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you need to go and get one, I understand.
Yeah, I'll be right back. No, just. No.
Can you imagine?
The other day, he comes to our neighborhood often, and I've got 2 kids, and so they heard it, and they like busted in here, and it was like, ice cream truck, you know, and I was like,
really?
Yeah, and so but he actually like for some reason went like real fast down our street, and so we had to like, we looked like psychos. It was like the whole family.
There's that cardio. See, like pre-burned calories.
Oh yeah, no, he was going too fast. We got in the truck and like cornered him at the cul-de-sac. We were like, hey,
that's so funny.
We were like, hold on, like, give me all the ice cream.
That's amazing.
No, but anyways, yeah, I don't know how many episodes you can probably faintly hear an ice cream truck in the background. Like,
you should make that your thing. Like, make that your intro jingle.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about. I was like, I need to find out what time he comes here and like slip him like a 20 just to not come down my street. Just feel like.
It's like I will buy a case of whatever ice cream sells the least.
Exactly. All the melted Sonics with like the wonky eyes.
Oh my god. Exactly.
They're the ugly. They're the ugly Sonic ice creams. But okay. Anyway, back to the video game stuff because I'm a video game nerd. But
what's your favorite game? Like, what are your favorite types of games?
Well, I would probably like first person shooters are the go-to, I guess.
Nice.
Junior
high.
Those
are so hard to play. I have tried a few times. I cannot.
Yeah. No, like in junior high and high school, I would like alternate between like Halo and Call of Duty. And got like super into that, like, maxed out all the levels and all that shit. But now I kind of just like jump around, I guess, to different stuff. Like I'd play like Red Dead Redemption.
Nice.
Yeah, and
my boyfriend really likes that one.
Okay, sweet. So, Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I kind of blanked out, but
I asked you a question. I'm sorry. Because you said that you wanted to get back into video games because you're a video game nerd, and I was asking you what your favorite ones were.
Yeah.
I distracted you. That's my bad.
No, you're good. Anyways, yeah, I would say mainly like first person shooters and
Nice.
I don't know what you would call it, like fantasy based games like RPGs. Yeah, so
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know.
Cool.
So how often would you say that you like work on video games with like as opposed to movies and commercials and stuff?
This last year has been a lot of motion capture mostly. But before that it's been like half and half.
Okay.
But this year it's been like probably 80% motion capture.
Okay. That's cool. So is like every time you do motion capture, is it in like a similar suit thing or does it vary?
Yes, there's different systems though. So there's an optic system, which is the Velcro suit with the reflector balls, and then there's also a what is it called? I forget what they call it, but it's basically with like accelerometers. So it's a different kind of suit. So they're you don't have to be in a volume with the cameras. It's just kind of like motion tracking based. So you have a different suit on with like a set of different markers. Like they just work differently, but it's the same result usually. But there's like the two different types with like the in the studio with all the cameras around with the reflectors versus like the other suit, which you can do technically wherever, and you can like wear stuff over it if you wanted to for some reason.
Okay. Is it are those like I don't know, like do they keep it cold in there like since y'all are doing so many things or
I think not specifically, but it's not uncomfortable. Like I think they do a good job of like figuring out a good temperature. I guess.
I know it's it's like a dumb question.
I don't think about it, so I guess they keep it pretty good. They probably put a lot of effort into figuring out the right temperature and stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's not like like super cold or anything, but it's also not hot. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's just kind of a dumb question.
No, it's a good question.
I was just like thinking, I was like, you're doing like flips and stuff, and like I don't know, I would get hot.
Yeah.
So
you get sweaty sometimes.
Yeah.
You're going all day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess before I let you go, do you want to like plug your Instagram or anything, or tell people where to find you?
Sure. Yeah. Are you gonna just like put in show notes or something? Like it's my name, which is hard to spell.
Yeah.
At Thekla Hutyrova.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll put it in the show notes, but
yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, please follow me. I do try to get back to like messages and stuff. I don't respond to comments if there's a lot of them. But I do try to get back to messages and things, and I like post the little ask me questions thing every now and then, and try to get back to people if there's actual questions. If you just say hi, I'm not gonna respond. I'm just gonna put that out there because like so many people do that.
Yeah, I get that. Like I got that today, and they're just like hello.
Yeah,
it's like hello.
Yeah,
and you're like,
and it's like I'm not, or like what are you doing? Like with the WYD thing, and it's like guys, this isn't Messenger or something.
Yeah, it's like shorthand. They're like sup.
Like we don't say BRB anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to the bathroom. But yeah, and it's so funny because some people like, I don't know, like they'll say hi and then they'll say like one more thing, and then I don't know if you've had this, but every now and then like someone gets like really pissed off that you don't answer. Yeah. So they're like, hi, you're cool, and then they're like, whatever, fuck you, you suck. You're like horrible person. You're like, what just happened?
Yeah, they're like going like unlike all your shit. You're like, hey, like calm down.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, wow, you just had your own journey there. I'm sorry that.
Yeah, they had like a breakdown because you didn't like respond.
But like everyone who's like normal and not normal. That's a shitty thing to say. But like if you ask a question that like actually requires an answer or anything, like I do try to get back to people about that. So Instagram's a good place to do that. I also have a TikTok. I think it's I am Thekla, but I haven't been posting on there as much. But yeah.
Sweet. Do you have anything else going on lately? Like any projects or anything you can talk about? Or
they just announced the Spider-Man game and the latest God of War game like a couple months or so ago. I've been working on those two quite a lot. And doing a short film, but that's not going to be done in a while. And then I'm just trying to like put together a website and some other stuff. So maybe next time we talk, I'll have more like concise, like promotional stuff for you. But at the moment, it's mostly Instagram. Yeah.
Okay.
And then other stuff that I can't say anything about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck with the stuff you can't talk about.
Thank you. You'll probably hear about it in like 5 years.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, please. Awesome. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, great talking to you, and I
hope you catch the ice cream truck.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some sunscreen too.
Yeah.
But,
ice cream and sunscreen sounds like a good summer.
Exactly. Yeah, but thanks for doing this, and yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Good luck with the show and everything, and talk to you another time.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.